And I thank you guys really for taking the time today. Go ahead, you guys can shoot with some questions. I'm ready to roll.
Hey, Bob,
Steve, I guess. Okay. I just want to ask you, you're starting 5 new the last game. After looking at the film, why do you think that moved so well together? And how did Jacob and Montez take it? Because they started every game before that. How did they take to the new role?
Yeah, obviously they did a good job, coming off the bench. I don't put a whole lot of stock into starting and stuff. I think I have a lot of starters. I've told you guys that all along. And so I'm fortunate in that sense, but I don't really spend a lot of time, and I don't think it's as important as everyone else, thinks it is. It's just a matter of guys playing and getting us off to good starts, and we hadn't been getting off to good starts. So changed it up a little bit, and I thought everyone played better, and appreciate playing a really good team on the road where we haven't had a lot of success, and everybody chipped in. Everyone that checked in the game did something really positive for us, and that's what we need to do. Continue, moving forward, playing that way. And our defense was a lot better than it had been. And again, out rebounding a team is an important stat for us. We were able to do that, and we were able to defend without fouling, which hasn't been a strong suit of ours. And they had been averaging 30 free throw attempts per game in the last 5 games prior to ours. So we held them to 17 free throw attempts, which was really, a really telling stat.
Hey, Chris, why don't you go?
Steve, after looking at the film, what did you think about the way that Miles and Cliff continued to play in that tandem since Cliff back from injury? What did you think about the way those guys played?
Yeah, Cliff is really starting to round in, getting in that kind of shape and getting back. When you have a month off, that's a tough thing too. And obviously Miles and Cliff, between the two of them, guarding the post players that Indiana has that have been on a real tear lately too. I thought they did a great job of limiting their touches. Both guys were really active. Obviously blocking shots and altering some shots, and those guys played really well. And I thought our guards did a good job too of digging down and helping too at times, with the post guys. But we did a better job rebounding as a team. Those two guys are a huge part of that, Cliff and Miles. And Miles just continues to do a lot of things for us. In the basketball game that don't show up sometimes in the box score. And so really great effort by them against 2 really good post players that were playing really, really good basketball.
Hey guys, Jordan Ozer is on his way in. He asked me to step in real quick and moderate. So I see the hands raised here. So we'll go with Richie next.
Hey Coach, what's going on? So what do you think you need to change the most from your first meeting against Michigan State?
Yeah, we didn't play well. Obviously, we really struggled, to do the things you have to do. It's a Hall of Fame coach. It's a program that is the elite program in our conference, and we haven't beat them. So we have yet to beat Michigan State, home, away. It doesn't matter where. So we have to play really well. We got out rebounded by a lot. Our defense, really struggled, but. We got another opportunity to get better, and they've been practicing, so they're going to be well prepared for us. And we got to, continue to play our kind of defense and rebound. And those would be huge keys in this game because this team can really score, and they rebound as well as any program in the country.
Go to Bobby Darren with the next question.
Steve, I just wanted to ask you too about Caleb. His return, how much does it mean, and how important is he, do you think, moving forward through this season now that he's healthy?
Yeah, every guy's important, and Caleb certainly being healthy, and all of them being healthy too is so important, But Caleb can play a lot of different positions. He's a really good defender. He really moves without the ball. And you saw his versatility, in the game too. And he's starting to round into himself too. It takes a while when you almost had a year off, from playing these kind of games, and starting to round into, better shape, and more consistent. He's a really good practice player too, with good energy. But, I like our guys. I like their energy too. Montez and Jacob, and Paul Mulcahy and those guys, and to have Caleb back and have him healthy just gives us another versatile experienced player, which we need in these kind of games.
Go to Brian Fonseca.
Yeah, Steve, you touched on him a bit, but Montez has been struggling for the past couple of weeks. He only played 3 minutes against Indiana. What does he have to do to kind of get back on track and playing like he was at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, everyone goes through these times of the year, and Montez was great the other day too. So the game just didn't play out that way, and other guys, were playing really well. So it had nothing to do with him. I trust him a ton. He's a good player. He's played a lot of minutes and started a lot of games, and he was the happiest guy in the locker room, that we won. So he'll be back today. He'll have a great practice, and we need a good Montez too, moving forward. But everyone has stretches like this. Our season's longer than any. This isn't, a 10-game season. Like you're going to have stretches like this. You got to keep, fighting through them. And, you got to embrace the challenges that this league brings and every game brings. And Montez will do that.
Jerry Carino up next.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Trouble getting this out on the road here today. Steve, what a big picture question. Mental health, I'm sure, has always been a concern as a head coach. What are some of the mental health challenges that are unique to the season for your program and everybody playing college basketball, and how do you deal with that? Yeah,
I mean, this is it's been such a different year, Jerry, and everything's different, and the players don't have a lot of escapes from basketball. It just doesn't allow it, and I think to go bowling one day or go to the movies, and sometimes that's what they really need. Put away their phones, but this year doesn't lend to that, and our country's going through struggles. COVID is every day you're reading about it. Every day we're reminded of it because we test every single day, and until I get that final okay, I'm worried about it. When we travel on the road, it's completely different. Your family and friends can't go to games. Used to have an escape from your teammates sometimes with other friends on campus. You don't have any of that. And so it's just been a really trying year, I think, for all of our guys, and I'm just very thankful that they've remained focused and they've remained healthy. They've done a really good job. We try to change some things up to try to make it more normal, but it's hard to make it normal during the course of COVID. And so it's challenging, Jerry. It really is. And I think about that all the time with the guys. I want our freshmen that are in the program to have a normal freshman experience, which is doing a lot of different things. But there's no students here on campus. So every day they walk out of the room, there's not one person. There's not one restaurant open. There's not, so everything is different. Hopefully we continue to stay healthy and get vaccinated too. And all the people out there in New Jersey that can get vaccinated, everyone that gets it helps everyone else. And, we'll just have to keep getting through this journey academically too. We're right in the middle of stuff now, and that's a whole different journey too. Everything's virtual. You're not walking to class. You're not, going to see a professor live. So a lot of changes and a lot wears on you.
I had one more question on that note, Steve, and that is the governor had mentioned yesterday that he's considering, maybe having family members be able to attend games in high school, and presumably the same would be in college. How much of a difference, just mentally, emotionally, would that be for your players if their family members could be in the stands down the stretch this season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jerry. I mean, it's just been such a different year, and the safety of the kids, and families got to travel now too. So I want the families to be safe too. When you start traveling, you realize how different the world is too, that we're in, and I don't know what the governor's going to do. I know what my daughter's going through in high school right now, and they're canceling school every couple of days because there's cases that have broken out, and they're not able to do what they normally do too. So, I think those kind of things, whenever you can see your family or friends or anybody else, outside of, your basketball family, I think that's a positive, but can you do it safely and can keep everybody safe? That's the next question too, that goes into that. So,
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Thank you.
Chris, I saw your hand raised. Did you have another question for Coach Pikiell?
Yeah. Just though on with Miles, I mean, has anything stood out about the way that he's kind of mentored Cliff away from the games and the times that we don't see? Has anything kind of jumped out at you the way he's done that?
I mean, you know what? Miles is like a good mentor to all of our guys, and he and Cliff, have a real respect for each other, and they battle every day, and I think that's good. It's been really good for Miles, and it's been really good for Cliff too. I think every day when you're going up against one of the premier shot blockers, and both of them are, I think that really helps. And Cliff is high energy. Cliff's getting better and better. That month off, always sets a player back. You get in the rhythm of a season and all those things. But he's starting to get back into that. He's got a great approach for everything. But Miles has, been a good mentor for all of our young guys, and he's a good example too. He comes to practice every day. He works hard, and he's gotten so much better. I watched a tape of him his freshman year here, and you can't truly appreciate how far he's come until you put on a tape of the year he redshirted, and then you really realize how far he's come in so many different ways. And I want him to continue to mentor all of our players, but especially Cliff every day, and Cliff does a good job too of teaching him some stuff. So they got a good combination together.
Tom, did you have anything for Coach Pikiell?
Yeah, I did. Steve, if you look around the Big Ten this year, there's a lot of big guys who are scoring. You can go down the list: Robbins, Garza, Cockburn. I mean, you've got two guys who aren't really big scorers. So can you comment on the number of big men scoring this year, and plus what you have to take that away?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Our league is every game, Trace Jackson Davis, Travion Williams from Purdue. I think he's Hunter Dickinson from Michigan. I mean, Micah Potter, Nate Roovers, E.J. Liddell. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. And, they all can defend. They can score. They're all different, too. Luka Garza steps out and shoots threes as well as he posts up in the lane. There's guys, Nate Roovers shoots 93% from the foul line. So if you foul him at Wisconsin, it's 9 out of 10 are going in from the foul line. I mean, each one gives you something a little bit different. I do like, Miles has guarded all those guys, so he's got that experience. Cliff is finding out now. Everyone's different, in the conference. But I think you start seeing, our bigs, can score too. And we got to, continue, to get them the ball. We also got to continue for them to rebound offensively and finish and get putbacks. But it's a challenging league in every way. I mean, it's the best league in the country. It's not even close. And that's not just me saying it. That's everybody saying it. The challenges with good guards and really good big guys. I put our big guys up against any league. Some leagues have 2 or 3 good big guys. I mean, this league, every single team, has a big guy that can play and can play anywhere. So it's very, very challenging. Your bigs have to come in. You got to have enough depth too to play through foul trouble too, because those teams that have 2 or 3 of them are in better shape to fight through the physicality of this league. So challenging, but it's what makes our league great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more from Jerry. You're muted there, Jerry.
Just want to build on that theme, Steve. It's interesting. Very few coaches have 2 6'11", 7 foot, real good, potential defensive centers. What's it like having those 2 guys, especially in that league that you're in you're facing all these good post men? It must be nice for you as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, you need them, and they're great teammates. They work. I want to play them together too at times, but the season just with the injury didn't kind of lend to that. But we're spending a little time too, having that happen now that Cliff is back, from his knee injury. So could do a lot of different things, but you got to have that kind of depth in this league. Like I said, I watch other leagues and I say, they got one big guy on one team and nobody on the other team. And then I see someone else in their league that, we have the most unique set of big guys. Every night that big guy is very, very different. And whether you're talking about Purdue, Travion Williams, and then 7'4" backup center that they have at Purdue, and Minnesota with Lamb Robbins, who's 7'3" or whatever size he is, just absolutely huge and can really play around the basket. And got to have enough guys to play against them, and then you got to live through some injuries. Like, unfortunately, with Cliff was out, we only had, you had Miles. So you got to have enough depth up front to battle in this league. And, we're fortunate that we do, and I think our bigs keep getting better and better, and that's a good sign.
All right, everyone good?
Guys, again, appreciate you guys being on. All right, stay healthy. Thank you.